Have you ever noticed how some people over 70 seem to effortlessly command respect and attention, while others appear to fade into the background? While most 70-year-olds struggle with feeling invisible or dismissed by others, some seem to maintain magnetic presence and social influence well into their 80s. Scientists studying over 9,000 seniors have identified 6 subtle behaviors that make all the difference between being seen as vibrant and engaged versus appearing outdated and out of touch. These discoveries could transform how people perceive and interact with you, giving you the tools to maintain your social presence and personal magnetism regardless of your age. You're here for understanding how others really perceive you after 70, and that's exactly what you're going to get. But I'm also sharing the specific signals that reveal whether people see you as sharp and engaging or outdated and disconnected. And wait until you hear the 6th behavior. It's the most important part of everything we'll discuss. The reality is 81% of people over 70 engage in at least 3 behaviors that unconsciously signal decline to others, but you have the power to change that. Please watch every minute of this video because understanding these perceptions could transform your social interactions and help you maintain respect and influence in every relationship. If you know someone over 70, this could be exactly the information they've been looking for to stay socially relevant and personally confident. Behavior number 1, the energy drain. This next one will concern you because the way you discuss your daily experiences can either draw people closer or quietly push them away. Consider Clarence and Herbert, both 76 years old with very different conversational styles. Clarence had developed a habit of focusing on what wasn't working in his life, his aches and pains, disappointing news stories, and frustrations with modern technology. Herbert made conscious efforts to balance any concerns with positive observations and genuine curiosity about others' experiences. The difference: people sought out Herbert's company while avoiding extended conversations with Clarence. Here's what Clarence didn't realize consistently: negative conversation patterns signal emotional decline and make others feel drained rather than energized by your presence. Research from Stanford University shows that people unconsciously avoid individuals whose conversation patterns are more than 60% focused on complaints, problems, or negative observations. This avoidance happens because negative energy is emotionally exhausting, and people naturally gravitate toward interactions that leave them feeling better rather than worse. How can you tell if you've become an energy drain? Pay attention to whether people seem eager to end conversations with you or if they appear distracted while you're speaking. You might notice that friends and family call less frequently or visit for shorter periods than they used to. And you could also observe that people don't ask for your opinions or include you in decision-making discussions as often. These aren't just coincidences. They're signals that your conversational energy needs adjustment. The good news is conversational energy can be completely transformed through conscious awareness and practice. Start by implementing a simple rule: for every concern or complaint you share, offer 2 positive observations or genuine questions about the other person's life. And gradually train yourself to lead with curiosity and appreciation, rather than frustration. Throughout your day, notice interesting, beautiful, or amusing things you can share with others instead of defaulting to what's wrong or difficult. The beautiful part is people will begin seeking your perspective and company again, and you can become someone others look forward to spending time with. If you've ever felt like people aren't as interested in talking with you as they used to be, you know how important it is to create positive energy in your interactions. But this is nothing compared to what comes next. Behavior number 2. The invisible boundary. This one might surprise you because the way you position your body and manage personal space can make you appear either approachable and confident or distant and uncertain. Meet Rosalind and Beatrice, both 74 years old with notably different physical presence. Rosalind had unconsciously begun keeping her arms crossed, avoiding eye contact, and standing farther away from people during conversations. Beatrice maintained open posture, comfortable eye contact, and appropriate social distances that invited connection. The difference: people naturally included Beatrice in group conversations, while Rosalind often found herself on the periphery of social gatherings. Here's what Rosalind learned: closed body language and poor spatial awareness signal discomfort or disengagement that makes others hesitant to approach or include you. Studies conducted at UCLA found that people over 70 who display closed body language are perceived as less confident, less interested in social connection, and less mentally sharp than those who maintain open, engaged physical presence. These unconscious judgments happen within seconds of meeting someone. What are the warning signs that you're creating invisible boundaries? Watch for people not making eye contact with you during group conversations or seeming to talk around you rather than directly to you. You may experience fewer invitations to social events or notice that people don't seek your input during discussions. And you could also observe that conversations feel more formal or surface level rather than warm and personal. These signals indicate that your body language is creating distance rather than connection. Here's the empowering truth: body language can be consciously improved to create immediate positive changes in how others respond to you. Begin with practicing open posture by keeping your arms uncrossed and your hands visible during conversations. Then slowly work on maintaining comfortable eye contact and positioning yourself at appropriate social distances that invite rather than discourage interaction. During your regular social activities, pay attention to mirroring others' energy levels and showing physical interest in what they're sharing through leaning in slightly and nodding appropriately. What's wonderful is people will begin including you more naturally in conversations, and you can feel the difference in how welcome and valued you feel in social settings. Anyone who has felt excluded from conversations understands how much body language affects whether people want to engage with you. However, what I'm about to share is even more powerful. Behavior number 3, the time capsule effect. This particular behavior is significant because maintaining outdated references and refusing to learn about current topics can make you appear disconnected from the world around you. Picture this Norman, a 78-year-old who took pride in his knowledge and experience, had developed a habit of relating everything to the way things used to be, and dismissing new technology, current events, and modern approaches to familiar problems. His conversations were filled with references that younger people didn't understand, and criticisms of anything that had changed since his youth. What happened next helped him understand how this pattern was affecting his relationships and social relevance. What Norman discovered: constantly referencing the past while rejecting the present signals cognitive rigidity and makes others feel that you're out of touch with their current reality. According to research from Harvard Medical School, people who maintain curiosity about current topics and show willingness to learn new things are perceived as significantly more mentally sharp and socially relevant than those who focus exclusively on past experiences. This perception affects everything from family dynamics to healthcare interactions. How do you know if you're experiencing the time capsule effect? Look out for younger family members or friends seeming impatient or disinterested when you share stories or opinions. Some people might avoid discussing current events or new developments with you because they expect negative or dismissive responses, while others may treat you as if you wouldn't understand or be interested in modern topics. You might notice that people explain things to you in overly simple terms, or seem surprised when you demonstrate knowledge of current issues. These indicators suggest that others perceive you as being stuck in the past. What's hopeful is that social relevance can be maintained through genuine curiosity and selective engagement with current topics. You can start today by asking genuine questions about things you don't understand, rather than immediately criticizing or dismissing them, and progressively learn about 1 or 2 current topics that genuinely interest you so you can contribute meaningfully to contemporary conversations. In your everyday life, balance sharing your valuable life experience with showing interest in how others are handling current challenges and opportunities. The rewarding aspect is feeling more connected to the world around you, and you'll experience renewed respect for your perspectives when you demonstrate that wisdom can coexist with current awareness. People who have felt dismissed as out of touch can relate to how much better relationships feel when you show genuine interest in others' current experiences. But wait until you hear what's coming next. Which of these behaviors have you noticed in yourself or others? Let me know in the comments. And if these insights are helping you understand social perceptions better, please subscribe so you don't miss more content that can help you maintain strong relationships and social presence. Behavior number 4, the maintenance neglect. This next discovery changes everything because small declines in personal care and presentation create powerful first impressions that affect how others perceive your mental sharpness and self-respect. Let me tell you about Vernon, 75 years old, who had always been meticulous about his appearance, but gradually began overlooking details like regular haircuts, nail trimming, and clothing maintenance. He didn't think these small changes mattered much since he felt the same mentally and physically. But everything changed when his neighbor mentioned that she had been worried about his health based on his appearance, even though he felt perfectly fine. The breakthrough discovery declining attention to personal grooming and clothing maintenance signals to others that you may be experiencing cognitive or physical decline, even when that's not the case. Researchers have found that people make unconscious judgments about mental sharpness, self-sufficiency, and overall health based on grooming and clothing presentation. These snap judgments influence everything from how seriously others take your opinions to whether they offer unwanted assistance or treat you as less capable. The signs of maintenance neglect include people offering help with tasks you're perfectly capable of handling yourself. You might find yourself being spoken to in overly simple language, or having others make decisions for you without consulting your preferences. And you may discover that people seem surprised when you demonstrate knowledge or capability in areas where you've always been competent. Some people might express concern about your well-being even when you feel fine. These symptoms indicate that your presentation is sending unintended messages about your capabilities. The positive news is that personal presentation can be easily maintained with simple routines and attention to detail. Make your first move by establishing regular grooming appointments and creating simple daily routines for basic maintenance, like nail care and clothing choices. And step-by-step build habits that ensure your presentation reflects your actual capabilities and self-respect. Within your normal schedule, pay attention to how your clothing fits, whether it's clean and appropriate, and whether your grooming reflects the standards you want others to associate with you. The satisfying result is being treated with the respect and deference you deserve, and you'll realize that small attention to appearance creates significant improvements in how others perceive and interact with you. When you've experienced being underestimated because of appearance, you realize how much personal presentation affects every social interaction. Yet this pales in comparison to what follows. Behavior number 5, the communication barrier. This particular sign is crucial because changes in hearing, speaking volume, and conversation flow can create social isolation, even when you have valuable contributions to make. Consider Russell and Jerome, both 79 years old with different approaches to managing age-related communication changes. Russell had noticed his hearing declining, but hadn't addressed it, leading him to speak louder than necessary and frequently ask people to repeat themselves. Jerome had gotten hearing aids and learned strategies for managing conversations more effectively. The difference: Jerome remained socially connected, while Russell found himself increasingly excluded from group conversations and social activities. Here's the reality: unmanaged hearing loss and related communication difficulties signal vulnerability and create barriers that make others hesitant to engage in meaningful conversation with you. Evidence from Johns Hopkins proves that untreated hearing loss not only affects communication, but also influences how others perceive cognitive sharpness and social competence. People unconsciously avoid complex conversations with individuals who have obvious hearing difficulties, leading to social isolation and reduced mental stimulation. What should you watch for regarding communication barriers? Be aware of people speaking more slowly or loudly to you than they do with others, or seeming frustrated when you ask them to repeat information. Common experiences include being excluded from group conversations or having people discuss topics without including your input. You might discover that others seem to avoid bringing up complex topics with you, or that they summarize conversations afterward, as if you might not have followed them completely. These indicators suggest that communication difficulties are affecting your social inclusion. The encouraging reality is that communication barriers can be addressed through proper medical care and adaptive strategies. Take the first step by getting a comprehensive hearing evaluation and addressing any issues with appropriate treatment or assistive devices. And over time, develop conversation strategies that help you stay engaged even in challenging acoustic environments. During your regular social activities, position yourself advantageously in group settings and don't hesitate to advocate for communication conditions that work better for you. The amazing thing is you'll feel more confident participating in conversations, and you'll discover that others respond much more positively when communication flows smoothly. This alone could restore your social connections and ensure that your valuable insights and experiences remain part of important conversations. Behavior number 6, the hygiene fade. Now, for the final behavior, this one is particularly sensitive because declining awareness of personal hygiene creates an invisible barrier that affects every social interaction. Most people think hygiene is just about cleanliness, but what they don't realize is that age-related changes in smell perception and physical mobility can create hygiene issues that you might not notice, but others definitely do. Consider Theodore and Wilfred, both 82 years old with different approaches to personal hygiene maintenance. Theodore had established systems and routines that ensured consistent hygiene despite some physical limitations and reduced sense of smell. Wilfred relied on his own perceptions to gauge when hygiene attention was needed, not realizing that his reduced sensitivity was affecting his judgment. What happened during family gatherings showed how much these differences affected social comfort and inclusion. Here's the reality: age-related changes in smell perception, mobility, and routine maintenance can create hygiene issues that significantly impact how close others want to be to you physically and emotionally. Clinical studies from the University of Pennsylvania show that people unconsciously maintain greater physical distance from individuals with hygiene issues, and these spatial changes affect the intimacy and warmth of all social interactions. The tragedy is that the person experiencing hygiene challenges is often unaware of the problem. What should you watch for regarding hygiene fade? Be aware of people maintaining greater physical distance during conversations or seeming to end hugs and close contact more quickly than usual. Common experiences include others making subtle suggestions about laundry, dental care, or personal care products. You might discover that people seem less inclined to invite you to small gatherings or intimate settings, or that they position themselves farther away during conversations. Some people might offer assistance with tasks related to personal care or household maintenance. These indicators suggest that hygiene issues may be affecting your social relationships. The encouraging reality is that hygiene maintenance can be systematically managed even when personal awareness is reduced. Take the first step by establishing regular routines for bathing, dental care, and clothing changes that don't rely on your own sensory feedback. And over time, develop systems that ensure consistent attention to areas you might not notice need care. During your regular activities, consider asking trusted family members or friends for honest feedback about hygiene maintenance and be open to suggestions for improvement. Create checklists or reminders that help you maintain standards even when you can't personally detect the need. The amazing thing is you'll notice people being more physically affectionate and sitting closer during conversations. And you'll discover that removing hygiene barriers allows relationships to feel warmer and more connected. This alone could restore the physical closeness and emotional intimacy that makes relationships truly satisfying. Are you surprised by any of these behaviors? Let me know in the comments. And if this information is helping you understand social dynamics better, please subscribe and ring the notification bell. Your engagement helps us reach more people who need to understand these important social perceptions. Looking back, these 6 behaviors represent the subtle ways that aging can affect how others perceive and interact with you. These aren't just about social niceties, they're about maintaining your influence, respect, and meaningful connections throughout your life. The good news is every one of these behaviors can be addressed through awareness and simple adjustments. You're not powerless against social perceptions. The knowledge you now have can help you maintain your social presence and personal magnetism regardless of your age. If you've recognized yourself in any of these behaviors, know that small changes can create dramatic improvements in how others respond to you and include you in their lives. Tonight or today, choose one behavior from what we discussed and make a conscious effort to address it. Maybe it's balancing negative comments with positive observations, improving your posture and eye contact, or establishing better personal care routines. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share which behavior surprised you most and one change you're planning to make. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to having you join us again in the next video.